So if you guys haven't noticed, I'm trying to change my setup. So let me know if you like this setup or like the OG setup better. Also, I'm sorry if the lamp is causing glare on my glasses because I tried really hard to position it so it doesn't do that, but I'm pretty sure it'll still do that. I would have tried filming without my glasses today, but I'm doing a Q&A video, so I gotta be able to read those questions. Before I start the video, I just want to mention the shirt that I'm wearing right now. As you guys can see, it has 2 police cars that are on fire, and it has a quote that says, "All great changes are preceded by chaos." This shirt is from an Asian-owned small clothing business called Graphic. I'm so happy they reached out to me because I love supporting small businesses. The shirt itself is definitely really great quality, so I recommend checking them out. If you want 15% off your order, you can use my code IZZYSUNDAY in all caps. And with that, let's start the Q&A. So the first question is, what are your go-to snacks? I'm a huge fan of spicy chips in general. I love hot Cheetos, Takis, hot fries, all of those things. I also really love Asian snacks. I tend to go for the sweeter ones because I have a sweet tooth. I stocked up on so much Hello Panda, so that's what I've been eating lately. Next question is, what are some ways you've been coping with quarantine, and have you learned anything new during quarantine? Since I'm not able to see my friends that often, I've been trying to consistently text them and also schedule FaceTime hangouts and stuff like that. Another really big thing I did during quarantine was catching up with people that I've lost touch with. Before quarantine started, there would be times where I would get reminded of a person, and then I would think to myself oh, I wonder how they're doing. I should hit them up sometime. But then I never do. But when quarantine started and I had so much more free time, I dedicated that to reaching out to people, basically filling each other in on everything that's happened over the past months or even years. Another way I tried to keep my life together during quarantine was keeping a consistent sleep schedule. It wasn't exactly the most reasonable time, but it was consistent. For the most part, I'd sleep at 2 a.m. and then wake up by 11 a.m., which I actually think isn't that bad. I feel like it could have been way worse. In terms of new things I learned, I actually picked up sewing. If you guys saw my video where I made an art project out of cloth, that is actually the first time I've sewn a big thing. Lately though, I've just been repairing holes in my clothing and I haven't tried to do anything big. I do want to get good enough at sewing that I could make some basic clothing items. In terms of mental health, I did a lot of deep diving into my brain over quarantine. I found that I had so much to talk about with all these different topics. So that's actually why I decided to make that body image video that I did a few weeks ago. I'm planning to expand it and make it an actual series where I talk about different topics in every video. If you guys have suggestions on what topic you'd like to see next, you can actually comment it down below. Next question, why are you so fine? My boyfriend sent that one. He just wanted to gas me up, that's all. See, I can't really tell you because I don't know myself. He asked another question too. He said, what obstacles do you think might await us on our road to 2 years together? I don't think there will be any new obstacles necessarily, because we've had a couple that we've been dealing with already. One, for example, is the long distance. We both go to the same college, but whenever we have longer breaks from school, it gets really hard because we're just both very clingy, physically clingy. We always liken ourselves to 2 pandas just eternally cuddling with each other, because that would basically be us if we were animals. And then the other obstacle we've been dealing with is obviously the pandemic. We can't really go out on dates that much because a lot of the places are closed or have limited capacity. So we've definitely been doing a lot of more indoor dates, but you can only do so much indoors until it gets boring, you know? I do think that those are the only obstacles that we'd face within the next year. If any other national or worldwide disasters somehow happen, that'll definitely become another obstacle. But since we've been working through those 2 obstacles for quite some time now, I feel like we're pretty prepared to handle it for the next year. So this next question is asking for suggestions for second date ideas in upstate New York. Something fun but not too serious. Okay. I don't know much about upstate New York in general, but I'll try. The first thing that came up in my mind was Fright World because Halloween is kinda close. It's the middle of September, but I consider that close enough to Halloween. Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, Halloween is my favorite holiday. That was the first thing that came to mind, but I checked it and it's apparently closed for this year, so I got to go last year and it was really fun, If you ever have any future dates in 2021, maybe you can take them there. Another thing I thought of was just to find a cute cafe downtown and have some coffee there. It also depends on which ones are open right now. I looked pretty recently and I know a lot of them are doing only takeout or delivery, which sucks, but what can you do? This last idea is gonna sound pretty nerdy, but I was gonna say a library date or a bookstore date. The reason I say that is because you can tell a lot about a person based on the books that they read. I feel like it's a really cute way to get closer to each other. I don't know, maybe that's just my book-loving self showing. But yeah, those are the ideas I have. I probably do have more, but knowing myself, I won't remember them until much later. Next question is, how do you keep a relationship healthy? Definitely setting boundaries, because with any relationship, if it's platonic or romantic, you want to make sure that the other person knows what you will do and what you won't do. Similarly, the other person should clarify what they want in the relationship. Leading into that, another thing that I think is really important is communication. Setting boundaries in the beginning simply isn't enough. You have to be constantly checking in with them because people change throughout relationships. No matter how long a relationship is, you and the other person will definitely not be the same people that you were starting out. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing, which is why you need to have that communication so that hopefully it doesn't turn into a bad thing. And the last thing I want to say is that you two should respect each other. If there's no mutual respect, then that relationship will not go well. Like, I'm already telling you right now. It has to be mutual respect and also the same level of respect that you two have for each other. With anything really, if there's an imbalance, then it most likely won't turn out well. Next question is, how do you balance your education/career, your personal life, and your overall health? I feel like this is pretty similar to what I said before, but you have to set boundaries for each of those aspects of your life. And you can do that in a number of ways. If you're the type that likes to plan out everything and organize everything, then you can set up a calendar. You can set actual hours that you'll divide to certain tasks. Like, for example, I'll spend 2 hours studying. I'll spend 1 hour filming videos. Personally, I don't plan out day by day, but I plan out by week. So I'll figure out everything I have to do in a certain week, and I'll list it all out and make sure that it's all done by the end of the week, basically. I'm very familiar with how I work with different types of tasks, so I definitely tackle the easiest ones first so that you can just get them out of the way. Another thing I do is that I actively make sure that I'm keeping in touch with my friends. I'm honestly not the best person when it comes to reaching out to friends, but I've been trying to work on that. It was really bad in high school, honestly. I go for like weeks, I think, without talking to friends. But as I grew older, I realized that I really cherish these people and I don't want to lose friendships just because I'm not communicating with them. Obviously, everyone does have their own lives, but it doesn't hurt to like send a text every now and then, you know what I mean? In terms of health, I try to eat all 3 meals and also have snacks in between so that I'm not hungry. I also get 7+ hours of sleep most of the time because I find that anything less than that, it makes me really tired throughout the day, and it just doesn't help me be productive. You're not able to study or do anything properly if all you're thinking about is wanting to sleep. And lastly, with all of these aspects, you want to make sure that you're keeping it as positive as possible. Make sure that you only take what you can handle, because especially when it comes to college level courses, for the most part you get to build your own schedule, and you know yourself better than anyone else. So you know how much credits you can take in a semester without failing everything. Even more so for extracurriculars, especially since they're technically not required. It's obviously nice to have them, but if you really can't fit it into their schedule, then don't force it in there. In terms of friends, make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that you get along with very well and that actually care about you. Because the last thing you need is some unnecessary friend drama that brings your mood down and affects how you feel overall. And for health, make sure that you listen to your body. If your body's telling you that something's off, you have to make sure that you get that treated as soon as you can, because it's better to be safe than sorry. You do not want to be like me. There was this one time I got a UTI and it progressed into a kidney infection. So I had a fever all the time. I was having chills. My lower back always hurt because that's where the kidneys are. Not to mention it hurt to pee already. All of that happened because I neglected what my body was telling me. So don't do that. Next one's not a question, but my best friend said I love you. I love you too. Next one also isn't a question, but my friend requested that I do a back to school haul. I actually had to get a bunch of art supplies because I'm taking a drawing class this semester, and I personally do not have drawing pencils or anything of that sort, so I will show you guys what I got. This will be a really quick haul because I haven't gotten to using a lot of these products yet, because I haven't reached that stage in the curriculum yet, but maybe you'll see a vlog of me using them later on. So I have these sketching pencils, this set of charcoals, water-soluble pencils, and these are drawing pencils that have like different colors. This bag full of large binder clips. I actually need these because I have a large drawing pad and large graphite paper that I have to make sure that I keep in place on my drawing board, which I also had to buy recently. Calligraphy ink, a set of 5 brushes, X-Acto knives, these water brushes, which I'm honestly not sure what you're supposed to do with them. I feel like it has something to do with like the water-soluble pencils or the charcoal, something like that. And then this autumn sketch paper. Next question is talk about performative activism versus real activism. As the name suggests, performative activism really isn't genuine, and it's meant to be like, oh look at me, I support this, without actually doing anything to help the cause. The reason this is such a problem is because there are so many ways to help the causes that you care about. I feel like no one really has an excuse for not doing even like the bare minimum. With that being said, I feel like people tend to mix up performative activism with more quiet forms of real activism. What I mean by that is that you have the more blatant forms of activism like protesting, holding public education programs about the cause that you're passionate about, consistently advocating for it on public platforms. But then you have more low-key forms of activism like donating, having private conversations with people that don't hold the same values as you on that topic, etc. I've definitely seen people on social media saying that, oh, if you don't post about this certain topic or this certain problem, then you don't actually care about it. In that way, I feel like a lot of people rely on social media to validate their activism, which I honestly don't agree with because you don't have to announce it everywhere to actually support a cause. As an example, I've donated to various organizations to support the Black Lives Matter movement. And I didn't post about any of that on my social media. I didn't tell people either. Does that mean that I didn't donate just because I didn't post about it? Obviously not. No one should feel obligated to post donation receipts or any type of proof to show that they supported this cause. I feel like I kind of went off topic with that, but I hope that answered your question. Next question is, are you currently part of a Grow Up Club? I actually am. I'm part of Grow Up for Change. I'm gonna pop their Instagram right there if you guys want to check it out. A lot of the Grow Up clubs are regional, so they're by state or by country, but we are one of the few global clubs under Grow Up. Next question is, how did you find Grow Up and what made you want to join? I actually found out about Grow Up when one of my friends sent me an invitation to go to the Grow Up Leadership Summit. I actually posted a vlog about it, so if you want to check it out, it'll be right there. I went to the summit and I got to meet so many amazing girls and women virtually. And in addition to that, I got to listen to speakers from all over the world. A group of the girls that I met during the leadership summit are actually the girls that started Grow Up for Change, so I ended up joining that after the leadership summit. I decided to join because I loved how inspirational and supportive each of these girls were. When I signed up for the summit, I didn't think it would become such a big part of my life, but it honestly did, and I'm so grateful for that. Next one is, how are you so comfortable on camera? It definitely took a lot of practice for me. I was the camera shy type of person throughout most of my life. I didn't start voluntarily having my picture taken until like senior year of high school, because all that time before then I was extremely insecure about my appearance. I still am occasionally, but I feel like my body image has improved a lot since those times. I feel like I started voluntarily taking pictures because of the newfound confidence that I had compared to before. But let me tell you, taking pictures is very different from filming videos. I've definitely gotten used to taking pictures by now, but with videos, I feel like I'm not as used to it yet. Looking back at how my first video was, I've definitely improved a lot since then, but I'm still actively working on trying to improve my speaking skills because they're not that great. Even right now, I feel really nervous doing this. I'm just generally the type of person that gets nervous before having to do things like public speaking, so I kind of try to curb that nervousness by listening to some of my favorite music beforehand, get myself in a happy mood to distract myself from the nervousness. And honestly, that saying of faking it till until you make it is actually true. I definitely had to fake a good amount of my confidence at first, both when I was starting to take pictures and when I was starting to make videos. But I feel like I adopted that and it eventually became real confidence. All in all, it's about being confident throughout the entire process of shooting or filming. Regardless of if you make a mistake, you own it either way. Next question is, where did you learn how to edit videos? I started out editing my videos using DaVinci Resolve, and when I was first starting to use it, I kind of just played around with the different functions to see what they do. If there was something specific I wanted to do but I couldn't find it, I would just Google it. A few months into my video making journey though, and I actually had this one class where I learned how to use Premiere Pro as one of the units. I actually posted the projects that I made in that class to my channel. I eventually ended up getting more familiar with Premiere Pro, more so than I was with DaVinci Resolve, so that I ended up switching to Premiere Pro, and that's what I currently use. If you are looking into editing videos, I definitely recommend starting off with a free software such as DaVinci Resolve. That one definitely took a bit of a learning curve to use, but Google is your best friend. I definitely recommend it either way. Okay, next question is, drop your workout routine. Since I only started working out during quarantine, I don't really make my own workout schedules. I've been doing the Chloe Ting challenge for a few months now, and I've been seeing a good amount of results. The only reason why they're kind of going away is because I stopped working out consistently when school started. But I've been trying to get back on it, so hopefully it'll turn out well. Do you have any general styling tips that you swear by? Generally, the rule I like to follow is mixing loose clothing with tighter clothing. So for example, if I'm wearing looser pants, I want to wear a tighter top. Same goes for the other way. If I want to wear a larger top, then I'd wear tighter bottoms. Also, anything high-waisted or like anything that cinches at the waist I find is really flattering. These are just very general things that I found work for me and my body type. It might not work for you, and that's perfectly fine. More on the line of accessories, I'm not the type of person that likes to wear like a bunch of stuff all at once. If I am wearing jewelry, it'll usually be very minimalistic, and I also won't wear too much at once. So for example, I'll wear earrings and a necklace together, but I won't also wear a bracelet or rings with that. Sometimes I might even just wear earrings and not wear any other type of accessory. A lot of it also depends on my actual outfit and seeing what works. Lastly, and also the most important part, is that you're comfortable in what you're wearing. It's just terrible having to constantly adjust stuff the entire day that you're out. Don't try to wear these uncomfortable outfits all day because it does not turn out well. Just wear what makes you comfortable because it'll make you happy. The last question is, how has your style evolved over the years? I feel like the main shift that happened between then and now is that my mom used to pick my clothes for me, and now she doesn't. Like back then, I would just wear whatever my mom bought for me, and that was it, you know? I also had to wear a uniform throughout elementary, middle, and high school, so I didn't really get to like wear outfits every single day. But now that I'm in college, I do get to pick my own outfits, buy my own clothes, and don't have to wear a uniform every time I go to school. Also, I definitely do not have like a single aesthetic. It's kind of like the YouTube channel where people show off all their different aesthetics because they can't pick one. That's literally me. Can't even think of one in particular because they're just all over the place. But lately I have been enjoying experimenting with my clothing. And with that, that is the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of me. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. This took longer than I expected to make, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Stay safe and I'll see you on the next video.